I just want to come on here and just say that I am at the beginning of my true spiritual awakening. All the things that I was taught as a child, as a teenager, growing up in the church, believing and being taught, I'm starting to have a complete eye-open experience to all of that stuff. And I'm going to go on this journey, and I'm going to take whoever wants to come along with me. And I know a lot of people are not going to even understand the journey that I'm on, but I want to say that when we start understanding that we're more spiritual beings, that we're having spiritual experiences, that we're being attacked spiritually every day from the minute we wake up to the minute we go to sleep, and even in our sleep at times. When we start understanding that, we'll start looking at life different, and we'll start treating each other completely different. We'll start having a different level of respect and compassion for each other. And we won't look at each other as a threat or competition, because we'll realize that we're all just having a spiritual experience, and we're wrestling against not each other, but spiritual. We're having a spiritual war with each other. So if you go into the store and you sense all types of crazy feelings and vibes, you're under a spiritual attack. That's why we have to raise our vibration as to what we allow into our space. And even in our friend circle and even our family circle, we have to protect our energy, because the spirits of confusion, spirits of these carnal spirits, these argumentative spirits, these spirits that don't even know themselves and want you not to know yourself, are constantly looking for someone to attach themselves to. So we have to raise our vibrations as to what we allow in, who we allow into our space, and even what we watch on TV, and even what we listen to. So I just want everybody to come on this journey with me, and I'm going to do a lot of research, and I want to wake a lot of people up to the fact that we're not here alone, and we have to treat each other with the level of love and respect that the Spirit of God, because God is not walking the earth. He's a spirit. The Spirit is requiring us to treat each other with a level of respect and love and compassion. We have no compassion for each other. We don't care about what each other go through. All we care about is what's going on in the news, and we let that affect us. But we don't let the fact that, that there's children who are starving and hungry and being molested and being raped and taken advantage of, we don't let that affect us. And we shouldn't we shouldn't, but to an extent, but we let the wrong things affect us. We let the fact that we went to the store and we went to buy the new these or those sneakers, and they don't have them. That affects us greater than the fact that we're dealing with a real spiritual war out here every day. We're dealing with a war. We're at war every day out here. We're at war with each other and with ourselves, because we are our greatest enemy, because we allow things in that we should never allow into our energy and in our space. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful, and we have to watch what we say out of our mouths, and we have to speak life. Speak life. Speak life. Speak the truth, but speak life unto each other, and speak life in ourselves. And get away from any draining energy. That's what I'm about to get in full practice of. I'm about to get away from any and everything. I don't care if it's my children, away from you, away from me, away from me. because I want to protect my energy, and I want to be in a place where I can feel the true presence of God and the true spirit of God, and not some carnal invitation God. Oh, I went to church and I felt good. No. But then you go home and you treat people horrible. You know what I'm saying? You treat the people out there in the world better than you do the people in your house. That's a problem. That is a serious, serious, serious problem. You have more respect for the people on your job than you do your parents. You have more respect for the people that you just pass through or by in your everyday life than you do your husband or your wife. That is crazy. When these people are a connection and a part of you because they're in your circle. We take on more than we really should. We take on more than we really should. We take on other people's feelings. We take on other people's burdens. We should, but we shouldn't. But to an extent, because we got to realize that we're dealing with we're in spiritual warfare every day. We're in spiritual warfare. So if you call me and you're depressed, I'm not going to allow myself to be pulled into that. I'm going to try to encourage you, but I'm not going to allow myself to be pulled into your depression, because I know depression is a spirit. I'm not. And if I'm already having my own battles and my own issues, then why am I going to go venture down that street with you? No, I'm not. No, a lot of people like to argue and be authors of confusion. Work on yourself. Don't try to show me myself when I see myself. People be like, I see myself. I know myself. I know I got issues. I know I need to work on this. Then work on it. And stop trying to help other people see theirs. Because you're the problem and you don't even know it. You are the issue and you don't even know it. Because your mental is so out of whack. Your vibration is so low that you can't even see that I'm not your enemy. Your vibration is so low that you can't even see that your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin is not your enemy. Not your enemy. No, honey, we are in a spiritual battle. Warfare. But not with each other. Not with this flesh. We're in a battle with a spiritual battle. So that spirit in you that want to be contrary, want to be contrary with me for no reason. Check that. We got to check ourselves every day. And I'm about to get the heck away from anything that is trying to drag me down. Because I plead the blood over anything that tries to drag me down. No. And every time somebody is trying to pull you into a disagreement or an argument or just straight confusion, don't allow it to happen. Don't allow it to happen. Got to recognize the spirit and walk away from the spirit. You cannot win with these spirits because guess what? You're trying to help them see that they're off, that they're not hitting on, that they're not speaking right, they're not thinking right. These are spirits that are controlling people. So you really think I'm going to sit here and argue with you for an hour and go back and forth or 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes to try to help you see that you're wrong? No, I'm not, because you're not going to see it until you're awakened. You're awakened to see that you are really in a war with yourself. And that war is causing havoc throughout your relationships with people. Some of us need to sit by ourselves and don't deal with nobody. You know, they say, oh, you get by yourself, the devil work. No, sometimes when you get by yourself, that is true. That sometimes we don't need to isolate ourselves when we're feeling depressed or suicidal. But when you dealing with these spirits of you want to argue, you want to bicker, you want to be the author of confusion, you can't see yourself. You need to get by yourself because you're going to push a lot of good people away from you. If you don't get to yourself, center yourself, and realize that I am in a spiritual battle. I am on the warfare battlefield. It's like when they go to war and they out there and those bombs are flying and stuff. This stuff is real. This stuff is real. Sometimes you could leave your house feeling great, feeling one way, and go out there in the world and come back home feeling some other type of way. Because we are at war with each other and we don't even know it. But we're at a spiritual war. I'm not angry with you. This war is spiritual. And once we realize that this war is spiritual, we'll start engaging and dealing with each other differently. Not sympathy, not pity, but we'll have a certain level of compassion for the person who is going through their own warfare. And sometimes you need to stay away from them, because sometimes you can't help, like I said, you can't help somebody see themselves at the level they need to see themselves if they haven't been awakened yet. A lot of people think they woke, but they not. I'm just getting wake. All this food, all this food and stuff that we eat, all this mess we take into our systems, into our bodies, this dead meat, all this foolishness, all this candy and all these chemicals, things we can't even pronounce, they're having an effect on our mental status. These are the ways that they continue to control us, through the foods we eat, through the things that we take into our bodies, through the things that we allow in our homes, on television, in our music we listen to. We listen to this crazy music and we think we gangsters. We listen to this crazy music and we sitting wondering why our mood is so sad and down. We thinking about people who we been should have let go, or we let go. Like pulling up old memories, our minds. That's why we have to vibrate at a higher vibration every day, all day. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Because you're dealing with other people who are not. They at a low frequency. Their spirits are just there. That's just where they are. They can't help themselves, half of them. And half of them just being operated and controlled by other higher spirits. Spirits that are stronger than we don't even know. Spirits that just been roaming the earth for years. Some people are dealing with generational curses. They father like to argue. They didn't see their mama was on drugs. So they some people dealing with these spiritual warfares from generational curses. So we have to have a certain level of compassion for people. We don't have to tolerate the behavior though. So that's why you move around the spirits that no longer serve you. Okay, I'm not attaching myself to any and every and nobody that don't no longer serve the purpose that God or where the Lord is taking me at this season. The Spirit of God is taking me in this season of my life. If you don't serve that purpose, if we're not on the same road, then we don't need to even be in the same company. Not saying I can't love on you and talk to you. No, I'm not saying that. But if we don't sit at the same table, I don't need it. Because listen, every day I'm battling with my own self. Every day we are at a battle with our own selves. We are dealing with our own shit. Excuse my language. We are dealing with our own stuff. Stuff we was born with, stuff we picked up along life, connections we made. We're dealing with our own stuff. So how in the world can we be dealing with our own stuff and taking in all the weight of the world? It's impossible. That's why we need to vibrate on a higher vibration and get in our secret place, meditate day and night. And meditation ain't just, I got my face in the Bible. Meditation is focusing your mind up and preparing your mind for the day, preparing your mind for the things that you have to face and do. Getting yourself in a place mentally where you can deal with the world. And that comes through meditation. There's nothing wicked or wrong with meditation. Meditation is healthy. If you start meditating, you'll see that you're able to deal with things differently. You're able to have a certain level of patience. Your patience become a little bit longer because you're centered and you're becoming more grounded in yourself. So we just have to just really protect our peace. People get, some folk that don't understand it, that have no peace themselves, and I'm not smirking or smiling out of like I'm trying to be oh, they don't have no peace. No, but you got to have peace in order to understand protecting your peace. You have to have peace in order. You have to have had peace, lost your peace, thought you would never get it back in order to understand the protection of peace. If you don't understand having peace, or what you thought was peace, losing your peace, then regain, the Lord God giving it back to you, then you don't understand protecting it. So I'm not talking to the people who have always had a sense or a false sense of peace, or think they've never lost their peace or have ever lost their peace. I'm talking to the people who had peace, lost their peace, thought you probably would never get it back, then regained it, and you understand the protection of peace. And whether you feel you gave it to yourself or God, whatever level you on, wherever you're vibrating at, protect it. Protect it. Protect it from the television. Protect it from social media. Social media have you feeling like you look like a button killer. You look like a snake, or that you look like something that should be in the forest, because you're looking at all you're looking at all the portrayals of beauty. When these are false portrayals of beauty, these people got their face done. They done got their skin peeled 15, 20, 30 times. They done got their bodies reconfigured. So you're judging your image and who you want to be on based on that. So you have to protect your peace from that. You have to protect your peace from social media, all the drama, all the chaos, all the foolishness that we experience through social media. Protect your peace. Protect your peace from your friends, their negativity, their hidden agendas. Protect your peace from your family, your children. Everybody is not vibrating on some people are just in the gutter with their vibration. And they want to pull as many people down there as they can. Some people purposely, and some people want to pull people down there unpurposely. Because that's just the agenda that they're on. They're not trying to spread love, peace, and joy. Some people are just bitter and angry, and they have never let that go. So they want to pull you into that, purposely and unpurposely. We have to check ourselves at the door, and also realize that, and pay attention to how you're feeling when you're around certain people. How you're feeling, how your spirit is feeling. How you felt previous to when you interacted versus how you felt. You have to pay attention to that, because that's going to tell you a lot about where you need to be, moving out the way, and where that person is, getting out their way. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to not attach and be attached to everything and everybody, because at the end of the day, we are in a spiritual war. And if you just feel sorry for everybody and feel like you have to be attached to everybody because they can and all this other stuff, you're going to be constantly in turmoil, and you're going to be constantly at war with yourself. And I just feel like this is a season of a spiritual awakening and healing. I'm talking a true spiritual awakening. I'm not talking about I went to church on Sunday and the word was so good and the anointing was so high and girl. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay? Because if you still mistreating people, if you still don't know how to talk to people, if you still don't know how to show real, genuine love, if you still leaving church on Sunday and gossiping, then I'm not talking about that. That right there, people have been doing that for years. Okay? I'm talking about being able to see a person as they are, as God sees them every day of the week. Even though our flesh, we still in the flesh, so our flesh, is toying with us. We're pulling, our flesh is pulling, we're in a battle. But we need to be able to see past the whole Christianity thing in the sense of, I'm a Christian, I'm going to heaven. But you're not checking yourself. You're not doing operations on yourself. You're not checking for your spirit. You're not checking for how you treat and talk to people. You're not checking for what you thinking, the stuff that you don't even say out your mouth, just the stuff you thinking in your head. You know what I'm saying? Half of you people, and I'm not judging nobody, but I'm saying half of you, I've done it in church when I was going to church. You sit in church all day with somebody, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, don't even look their way, talk to them or nothing. Really? Really? And you think I want to come visit your church? You don't even talk to that sister over there. Y'all not even really? Really? But y'all out here judging us. Y'all out here judging the people in the world that's trying to meditate, become spiritually aware, become connected to the Spirit of God in a way where it don't look like I'm sitting in church with a bunch of people that I want to slap upside their head. Really? Really? You should just stay home. Because I'm not going to be in the company of nobody and nothing. And then pastor preaching, not pastor, but pastor, who male, female, pastor preaching. And half of the stuff you can't even receive from her or him. Because you really not in agreements with who they are. You don't really even care for that person or like that person much. You not even really feeling that person. But you sitting up listening to a word from the Lord from that person who you not really even feeling. See, those are the things that we need to check in ourselves. This is why we need to vibrate at a higher vibration. This is why our spirits are in such turmoil and conflict, because we sitting up there listening. We in the company of people we don't even like. And is it okay not to like somebody? Absolutely not. But we in the company of people who we not even really feeling. Then our spirit, our minds, our souls are on guard all service, all day, all long. And then we go home. Oh, I had a good time in church. The Spirit of God was so high. But did you see Sister So-and-so? Really? 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 That's why I stay home. I'm not going to nobody's church. Nobody's church. I'm going to go to the church in here. The church that God put in here when he acknowledged himself to me. When he showed me who he was, that's the church I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to the church of treat them not like they want to be treated. Treat them like God want me to treat them. And if I can't treat them like God want me to treat them, then I get them the heck out my way. I'm not dealing with nobody I can't treat right. I'm working on me and healing every day. Period. And that's it. So we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to check ourselves. We need to vibrate on a higher vibration. And I hope people understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that. Vibrating on a higher vibration. Not being, it's like in a sense, not being so carnal minded. Don't be so carnal minded. Don't think everything is about you and apply everything to you. Don't think that they not talking or they looking or acting some type of way because of you. Honey, people are at war with themselves. Forget about you. They ain't thinking about you. They in their own head, graveling and going sick with what they are dealing with. People are at war with themselves. If we having a spiritual experience, this is nothing. This is flesh. If we are all having a spiritual experience in this earthly realm, we're on earth, and we're having a spiritual experience. We're spirit beings. I'm a spirit being, you're a spirit being, she's a spirit being. Spirit beings, okay? So if we're all spirit beings, then why can't that situation that's going on in that particular person be spiritual? So don't take it personal. Okay? Don't take it personal. I'm not taking nothing personal from nobody no more. Honey, you ain't at war with me. I'm not your enemy. Because if you really felt my spirit, you know that I'll go to war for you in the spirit. So I'm not at war with you. You at war with yourself. Go find yourself. Go find yourself. And I ain't talking about, find yourself. I'm a bad and I'm this and I'm that. No, I ain't talking about find yourself like that. No, that ain't finding yourself. Finding yourself is knowing who God says you are, who the Spirit of God says you are. Finding yourself is knowing that we're only here temporarily. Okay? I'm borrowed, you're borrowed. Okay? Our children are borrowed. Okay? And we have to handle each other in a particular way where the Spirit of God wants us to. Okay? We can't mistreat each other and run all over each other. Women, we mishandle each other so bad, so terribly. We mishandle each other so terribly. And you know that you go to like villages, you see different movies or something, villages and women in Africa, and they sitting around, they cleaning, they washing their clothes, they at the river. Women spend more time together than men. On the job, men don't talk too much. Men don't deal with each other too much. But women, they be at the watering holes, washing their clothes. They hunt together, they cook together. But we tear each other down so bad. We don't like each other. It's because we don't like ourselves. We don't like ourselves. That is the problem. We can't look ourselves in the face. We act like we like each other. We fix ourselves up so much. Oh, she really love herself. No, we are at war with ourselves. That's why we don't treat each other properly. Women, we dog each other and we just do each other dirty. And the same struggle she having, I could be having, but I'll make her feel bad about the same situation she dealing with. Girl, you still dealing with that nigga? This is how we do each other. But you still was dealing with that nigga. You ain't dealing with him now, but you still was dealing with him and he drug you all the way down. Let's edify each other and lift each other up and stop playing these games like we so much better than each other. These social media platforms got us feeling like we just so better than each other. And then when we see somebody post they having a bad day, we're like, I don't want to hear that. She always having a bad day. Pray for her. You know what I'm saying? Go in her inbox and encourage her. Give her a message of love. You know what I'm saying? And then the stuff we say out our mouth, that don't just stop here. If I say something negative about somebody in my own little house, in my own little space, that don't just stay in here. The universe, that goes out throughout the universe. Words have power. So that goes throughout the universe. So when people are still in the situation, in the state they're in, sometimes we have to ask ourselves the energy that we're putting out. Even the situations in the state that we are in, we create our own energy and our own situation. So let's be conscious of what we say, what we do, how we treat each other, what frequencies, what vibrations we're sending out. We're spiritual beings. So that means that you might not be in my presence, but you can feel if you're at a certain vibration, not at a low vibration. You may be able to feel what I'm feeling or what I'm experiencing or what type of day I'm having. Because we're on the same, we're connected. We're connected. We find out how people feeling through social media. We don't never ask nobody how they feeling. We get right on the phone. I'm guilty of it sometimes. I try to be really in tune with not just how I feel, but what other people feel. And my discernment is freaking, I don't mean to use the word freaking, but my discernment is ridiculous at times. My discernment at times is overwhelming. But God is teaching me, the Spirit of God is teaching me how to deal with it. And that's when you have to, I've learned, I used to run from discernment, run from my let's say, being able to see things for what they are. I used to run from that. And I think that's a lot of the reasons why I ran from the church. Some of the reason. But the Spirit is teaching me how to, if you're vibrating on a higher vibration and you're putting yourself in a better place mentally and spiritually, you'll be able to deal with these wows of the devil, the snakes, the things he throw, the people he use. And he gonna use the people closest to you. See, me, my circle is tight. My circle is little. I don't have a big circle. So he gonna use my children. I see you, devil. He gonna use my children. He's gonna use my mother. He gonna use my siblings. He gonna use the people who I am in connection with, because he can't use my neighbor because I say hi to my neighbor and I keep it moving. He can't use the people on my job because I don't deal with them and I don't interact with them but so much. But he will use them, because your discernment is going to pick up on different spirits. But don't take it personal, because we're having a spiritual experience. These people are also having a spiritual experience, and they also wrestling with spirits, and they also dealing with and wrestling with they self. People are at war with themselves, and that's why the world is such in turmoil. So let's vibrate high and have a great day.